Hey beautiful people, how's it all going? Hope you're all doing amazingly well. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you a date night look with myself to go and see Little Mix live in concert but in the cinema. I cannot wait to go see them. This will be the last one they do before they split up for a little while, which is really sad, but I'm looking forward to going tonight. I'm going by myself and this will be the first time I've ever gone on a date night by myself. Something I wanted to do, and it'll be a topic I'm talking about today with self-love as we go more into the video, but this is the look I came up with. I absolutely love it. It's just so beautiful. Please keep watching and hope you like this video. See what happens. So just before I start this video, can you see this monstrosity I have right in front of me, along with this monstrosity I have right in front of me? All I was doing was my normal routine of washing all my brushes. That happened. I am not impressed, Real Techniques. I wasn't even cleaning that hard. I was literally just doing circular motions and just going like that with my finger just to try and get all the foundation off of it. And then it just started crumbling right in front of me. Look. And I only just bought this and I was so excited, then another chunk came off. That's really annoyed me. I'm not impressed, Real Technique. I've used your sponges before and I've absolutely loved them, which is why I've gone and bought some more, and then that happened. I'm not impressed with you at all. But there we go, such is life. So I'm gonna have to throw that one in the bin and hope that my other Real Technique sponges don't do that. But on another note, let's do some makeup. I'm so excited for tonight. I think it's gonna be such a good evening. I can't wait to see Little Mix in all their glory and to do their last concert. It's going to be bittersweet. I think it's going to be amazing all at the same time, like any last show of any concert is on tour, but it's also going to be really sad because obviously this will be their very last one before they split. But there are hints that they are coming back, so fingers crossed it will only be for a short while. I have a bunch of Little Mix brand makeup that I want to use on myself today, which obviously I'll go through with you each time I'm doing new things, but I thought that would be fun to play around with those because I haven't actually touched a couple of these things in a while, so it'd be really nice to reintroduce them again and see what I come up with. So let's do eyes first. As always, just a normal concealer. So I'm just going to put this all over my lid. I'm going to take a Real Techniques blending sponge and hope that it doesn't break like it did the last time, and blend that all into my eyelid so we have a nice base to start off with this makeup. I haven't decided what colour I'm going to do, and it's so cool now because when I went to book my tickets online the other day, I say ticket for one, just for me. Yeah, when I went to go and buy it on the Odeon website, there was also the option of if I wanted to order myself some food as well and prepay it so that when I get there I can just go and grab it, like a click and collect for food that you eat straight away. I just thought that was really cool. So yes, I got myself some popcorn ready for me when I go later. I always find you always need some popcorn. I mean, definitely a snack in general, but popcorn I find, especially cinema popcorn, I don't know what it is. It's just really nice and I just always have to have it when I go to the cinema, which isn't very often, mind. So it's definitely a treat me date night. This is also a bit of a thing for me. I'm taking myself out on a date, which I did kind of do something similar a couple of months ago. I went to Hobbycraft for the day on my own and it was really nice. It felt like so much freedom and I'd never done anything like that before. And as soon as I heard Little Mix were doing their last concert in cinemas, initially I thought, oh, who could I go to get with me? And then I thought, why don't I just take myself? So that's exactly what I'm doing. Am I nervous? I am heck nervous because I've never sat in a cinema on my own before and I've never taken myself out for an evening on my own before. So it's going to be really strange, but at the same time I feel like it's something that will be amazing and will be just an amazing evening. And to see my favourite band perform their last concert, it was going to be a yes all the way. So the first Little Mix themed makeup I'm going to use is actually Jade's palette that she did with Beauty Bay. I've used this a few times and the colour story in this, as you can see, is absolutely beautiful. I know Little Mix released an eyeshadow palette when they did their range a few few years ago, but I just wasn't inspired by their eye colour story. It just didn't really do anything for me. But this, oh my god, like Jade did such a good job with getting all the colours together and really making it such a beautiful rainbow colour story. It's definitely one of the better rainbow ones I've seen, and yeah, it just looks amazing. I want to do like a gold, no. Why is this so hard? I don't understand. Why is it so hard? Do you know what? I am going to do purple. I haven't used any of the purples in this palette yet, which is very unlike me, seeing as I'm a purple person. Or shall I do red? No, do purple. Go with purple. I'm going to go in with the Intention shade and just work that all over my lid, just to make sure I've got a nice smooth base to work with before I put any of the colours on. Come a little bit closer, baby. There you go, just so you can see what I'm actually doing. So I'm going to go in with Ethereal, which is this light purple here. I'm just gonna start putting that in my crease. I did just accidentally go in with Daydreamer as well. I went in too soon, but you know what? Never mind. Let's do Ethereal and Daydreamer together, seeing as I've already started. It'll be interesting to see how this look turns out. I haven't done purple in ages. I love it. It's my favourite colour, but it's not something I normally wear on a day-to-day basis, but I'm trying to like do more makeup looks that are a little bit more out of my comfort zone, just so I'm being a bit different and giving things a bit more of a go. There you go. So the purple is starting to come together a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the Soulmate shade down here and just put that in my outer corner, and then we can start getting a nice purple colour story together. Do a makeup series that had been out for ages but I'd never seen before. It's one called Glow Up. They've got it on Netflix. I'd heard of it previously, but I just never really succumbed to watching it. And then a few weeks ago I saw it on Netflix and I just thought, let's just give it a go. It was really good. It was interesting to see how other people do their makeup and the inspiration they get from how they do it, why they do it, and the different challenges they had to do as well. I would have been bricking myself on the celebrity one, I won't lie, because that's quite a daunting thing to do a celebrity's makeup, and especially within a specific time frame. But the person that won was really good at the makeup looks that they created. Some of the stuff as well, like that they were judging on and they were looking at, and how they managed to judge people's work and be able to pick one winner. I don't think I'd ever be able to judge and give a best look. Obviously there's like different looks I prefer and that, but when you're actually judging somebody's work, it's really hard, because I find that people do makeup in their own way, in their own version. Everybody's got their own way of doing things and their own way of how they like things to look. I personally couldn't go and say this person is better than that person. I just think everybody's got their own tale to tell when it comes to makeup and how it makes them feel, why they do it in the first place, and the stories behind it. It was just really interesting to watch, and I think that was one of the things that made me think, oh, like, wouldn't it just be good to just play around with makeup again and just edge back into the creativeness, so to speak. Here we are today, guys. So I've just kind of blended all the colours together. As per normal, I tend to just start, stop, go on to another bit, and then probably come back to it later on. So far, colours are coming together a bit, so now my favourite part is doing the lids. So I'm going to go in with Galactic. This looks like a really pretty shade for the lid. If you can see that, close up a bit more. That is very purpley, very galactic-y. I love it. I feel like we need a bit of setting spray just to pick up more of that pigment, but that's better. That is very galactic-y for sure. Haha! Love that. What am I going to use my inner corner shade? Oh, okay, sorted. Milky Way. I just swatched Milky Way on my wrist. You won't be able to see it, but it's got like a bit of a purpley, like dewy, chromy kind of thing going on. So I'm definitely going to be using that. But I will just go and build up the rest of the purple that I've got going on in the background, just to try and make it a bit more smoky eye-ish. And then I'm going to go back in with Galactic again and just try and build up the lid shade a bit more. Now let's go in with the inner corner shade. Let's go in with Milky Way. Oh, that is lush. Let's try a smaller brush this time. Let's do eyeliner next, and this is going to go on my top waterline. This is from Collection. On the actual top waterline this time, we're going to go in with Collection and just put that in the top waterline. Mascara, Barry M Lash Vegas 2. Just always love this mascara for how it just separates my lashes first off. 5D Lash Pow by Revolution, just to up the vamp a little bit more, just where I've placed that Barry M mascara. Again, just to give it a bit more volume. And then, just before I go in and do the mascara on the bottom, I am going to smoke it out. The ones that I just put in my crease, so Ethereal and Daydreamer, and we'll put that on the bottom. And then I'm going to go in with some purple eyeliner on the bottom waterline. I've not used this before, so we'll see how this goes. This is from the Bratz collection. It's a kohl eye pencil, purpley one, in the Yasmin shade. I'm just going to pop that on the bottom waterline. Oh, it's very bright. Applies really well, really creamy. And now we can put some waterproof mascara on. Big Drama waterproof mascara by Collection. This is what we have so far with the eye look. Now we can move on to doing the rest of the face. Let's do primer. I really want to do that Candy Haze primer again. Let's pop that all over the face. Let's get primed. So as I said in my last video, I wanted to change this channel a bit and change it into, as I call it, makeup mentality, which is where we do all things makeup but then empower your mentality at the same time. Each time I do like a makeup-y kind of thing, I just talk about, you know, something that might have happened in the week, or just a general conversation about mental health, like a certain topic to go over. So I thought this would be a good time to talk about self-love, because it's something that I have been making more of an effort of recently, especially because I have not been doing that for a while. My mind has been occupied on other things which should not matter whatsoever, but at the time for me it really did. It just got me into the black hole of feeling like all my mind was doing was just thinking about certain things that didn't need to be thought about at all, but for some reason my head just kept thinking about it. I was trying to ignore it and just get on with life, but it just wasn't doing it. So number 7 foundation before I carry on. This is the all-in-one foundation with the SPF 50. No, I'm going to do that trick. Foundation on the hand. Grab a fan. Make it dry a little bit. And just as well, this was the eyeshadow palette that I did today from Jade. This was what Nikki Tutorials used on Jade at the time. Dry, my pretty, dry. Right, let's see if this works at all. Might not, but we will see. So just as I was saying a minute ago in the conversation, I've not been looking after myself recently, and especially with the self-love stuff, my mind has basically been occupied with other things, and mainly to the point where it's been too preoccupied. I've not been focusing on myself, which is not good. I love this trick. I'm definitely doing this trick more often. It really works. That's where I was at for a while, but I was at the point where it was really increasing my anxiety, and I didn't want to go to big gatherings with like friends and that, which like things I'd normally love doing, I just didn't want to do, which is very unlike me. So in the end, I just woke up one day, I just said to myself, I can't keep doing this anymore. You know, something that was just taking at my mind constantly. It was always something I came back to, even when I tried to just keep myself busy with work and things that I did in the meantime, so things like exercise and pull. Whenever it came back to when I wasn't busy anymore, that was when it kind of came back to me, and I was just like, oh, and I kept having nightmares about it, bad dreams, and then waking up feeling like rubbish. And then one day I just woke up and I just thought, do you know what, why am I wasting my time? Why am I wasting my all good energy on something that just isn't worthwhile even thinking about? Something has got to give. Like, I cannot be thinking about it every single day, and I need to be putting all that energy that I'm putting on all this other stuff to me, because I deserve all that love and energy. I'm the person that deserves to feel empowered, and as I am saying now, this empowering warrior goddess that I know I love and I know that I deserve to bring out more often. She needs all this nurturing and thinking time and processing thoughts, you know, not all this other stuff that I keep thinking about. And then that was it. Like, my mindset's just changed since then, and I just want to focus on the good and work on being a better version of myself. And this is where we are today. Just a side note quickly, this makeup, that trick that I just did, yes, it's applied on so much better. Concealer, we're going to go in with Eye Bright Illuminating Under Eye Concealer from Revolution. This is in the shade Medium Light. So yeah, having that moment last week is where that got me today in terms of doing something for myself that I want to do, not having to worry about anyone else, not having to think about bringing anybody else, or I have to go with somebody. Like, this should be something that I can just do by myself. So that's why I'm going to Little Mix on my own tonight, and I'm sure I'm gonna have a really good time. It's gonna be amazing. Even though I'm nervous as heck for it, I know it'll be a badge of honor for myself to say that I did this. I was the one that thought of this idea, came up with this idea, and it's something that I deserve to do for myself, and it's all for self-love, and it's all for me, which is actually really amazing saying it out loud. Do some eyebrows next. I'm going to go in with some gel liner to make it a bit darker, and then just use a eyebrow pencil that's a little bit lighter shade and just fill in any blank spots just to make it a bit more natural. And I also did a video the other day, just a dancing video. I felt really good, really empowered, and I was just like, I feel like filming this because this would be amazing to film. And all I did was just put on a song that was going round and round in my head, and I was dancing to. I absolutely loved it, and it was entitling self-love and the importance of loving yourself first and foremost, before you love anybody else, before you go and help anybody else. Always put yourself first. Always think about what's going to be best for you, what's going to make you feel at your most best. The video is just basically a message to say that you should work on yourself so much to the point where you can just say out loud to yourself, I love me. And that's exactly how it should be. And I hope I got that message across in that video. So that gel stuff that I just put on, that was from L'Oreal. I'm going to go in with the XX Fine Brow from XX Revolution and just fill in any blanks. Yeah, so when I was younger, I never really understood self-love. I always thought if anybody said that they loved themselves, I could never say that to myself because it would be really arrogant. Like, that's just such a weird thing to say. Like, why would you say that to yourself? And actually, in hindsight, that was actually a really good thing. And I remember when I went to uni in Bournemouth, it was one of the nights out. We went out for freshers, and one of the girls that was on my course, we lived in the same apartment block. She'd got herself all dressed up, as we all did. All she kept saying was, I'm so hot, I'm so hot, I'm so hot. And at the time, I just remember thinking, that a bit arrogant? Is that the normal thing to do now? You know, for somebody who didn't really love themselves back then at all, it was a bit kind of mind-blowing for me that that was going on. But looking back on it now, I'm actually like, do you know what? That was one of the most empowering things to say to yourself, is to tell yourself that you're beautiful, that you're hot, you look stunning. And it doesn't have to be in an arrogant way. Like, you can literally just say, I look amazing. You can literally just say, I look hot. You can literally just say, I look beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying to yourself that you are all these things. As we always do with scenarios, sometimes we wish we could go back in time and we'd know what we'd say this time round to ourselves or other people. I think I definitely would have been like, yeah, do you know what? You do look amazing. You do look hot. You do look incredible in how you look. That's what we should be telling ourselves every single day. You've got to speak to yourself like you're your own best friend, because you are your own best friend. You're the person that you spend the most time with out of everybody. You yourself are the person you spend the most time with. So why treat yourself horribly? Why make yourself feel bad about yourself? And it's easier said than done. I completely get it. I have been there. Many people will tell you that I have been there, and it's really hard, especially when you've not spoken to yourself well previously. But I promise you, once you do get into those habits of looking in the mirror one day and saying, yeah, do you know what? I am beautiful. And this is the thing I now say to myself in my head, like, when I have no makeup on, when I've just woken up, I will say to myself, I look beautiful natural. I look beautiful right now. Like, here right now, I look beautiful. It's starting to flow a bit more and feel a bit more comfortable. And when you do start saying stuff like that to yourself, it's going to feel really weird, really uncomfortable, and like, I can't say this to myself. This is just really weird, and especially out loud because you're talking to yourself pretty much. But once you start developing the habits of it, trust me, it all will start rolling off the tongue and you will be saying it without even realizing you're saying it. It will be like second nature. So if you haven't before, or you've been uncomfortable to, or you're not sure if you can do it or not, just try it one day, see how it goes, and just keep going with it. And even watch YouTube videos on self-love. There's loads of books out there, loads of self-development books you can get now about self-love, and start making that journey for yourself today, and really start thinking about what self-love is to you and what it means to you, because I've started doing that, and I tell you, it is a revelation, and I'm so happy that I'm starting to do this for myself. So I have put my eyebrows on, which sounds really weird to say. So I've just got some translucent setting powder here. This is from Unique, the good old days when I used to do Unique, and I'm just gonna place that in the places that I put my concealer in, just to get rid of any shiny spots, make my face a little bit more matte. Contouring next, so I thought I would bring out this old bad boy. So this is the face palette by Little Mix, when they released their makeup brand a few years ago, and I still have it because I still reach for it every now and again. So you've got some highlighting shades and also some contouring shades and some blush shades as well. There's been mixed reviews on this previously, just people saying that when they've done contouring before with the browns, that's come out with a bit more of a muddy look. I've always used it and found it to be fine. So what I'm going to do is just go into the lightest shade first and just work that in the contouring bit. I've always found with this as well, you don't need that much for it to make an impact on your face. So a little goes a long way, which is something I've always found anyway with when I've applied makeup, especially with contouring. Contouring, I find, is people's worst nemesis. I mean, for me it's not a complicated process because I've done it for so many years, but I think it's one that people tread on carefully because it's not one where it comes easily to people, or like they look at that and think, how on earth do you do that, or they've tried it and it's not something that they would naturally gravitate towards in their makeup routine, which is fair enough. But I like doing it. It's just become part of my makeup routine when I do a full face of makeup. It's just something I like to add to my repertoire that I really do like. You know, there's multiple ways you can do it. You don't have to do it the way I do it. This is just the way that I've been doing it for a couple of years or so, just because it really works for me. But again, I don't tend to apply that much because I feel like I don't need that much. But again, each to your own, and how you want to do it is completely up to you. But that's just how I do mine. In the face palette that they've got, obviously there's highlighting shades already in there, but they did release separate highlighters as well, and they came in a gift box. There was a pinky one and there was a gold one, which looked really pretty. I don't tend to reach for the pink one that much, even though there's a bit of a dewy chromy purple in it. Is it purple or is it just pink? It's not really something I gravitate towards. It's just a little bit too pinky for me. The gold one I tend to use every so often. It's just a really nice shade I like to use. You've got some other ones in here that are really nice. The goldy one comes out a little bit brighter than the other one. There's a bit more of a, I want to say like a rose goldy tone, and then just like a white one. Which highlight do I want to use today? I am going to go in with this one. I think the white one will be more intact with the look I want to do today. These have no shade names, by the way. Ooh, it's so pretty. Yeah, I definitely picked the right shade, that's for sure. So it's got the element of that pinkiness that was in the other little square one that I showed you, but the white just takes over it, so it becomes a bit more of a lighter highlighter than too much of a pink. A little bit up top as well, just to give it a bit of shimmer. I've got to decide what I'm wearing tonight as well. I still have no idea. Obviously we'll be in the cinema anyway, so it really doesn't matter, but for me, I know that I'll look very nice. So it's coming together very nicely. I do like how the eyes look, the highlighter looks. Careful with this one because this pink and this orange, mate, they are potent. I've seen like loads of people doing that as well. Like, I would not want to put too much of this pink on because it would be far too potent for me, but we'll just give myself a little bit of colour. I'm just too scared to put too much on. Okay, cool, that'll do. We got a little bit of colour in our cheeks, so that's something. We're also going to use Little Mix lips as well. So they released some matte lips with some crayons as well. I did a video for that years ago when they first came out, so I'll link it down below. There's two colours I'm kind of debating which one to use. I think I'm going to use this one. I think the other one's a little bit too pinky for what I want it for. This one is in the shade Rose Blush. There we go, so that liner has gone on my lips. Lovely and fine. And then I'm going to take the matte lip in one kiss. That looks lush, and I'm just going to go in with some setting spray just to set it all together. Candy Haze Sweet Dreams. This is, like it says, a dream. It really is. It's just a really nice, sweet, subtle smell that I love putting on my face. Beautiful. And there we go. I am just going to put on a little bit more highlight on the inner corner. I think I'm going to go in with the same one that I did before, but then also put that on with confetti. It's like an icy blue. That's better. That is so much better. Look at the difference there. That's so much better. I wanted it a bit more potent, and that's exactly what your girl got. There we go. So that is me all suited and booted for later. I think it looks amazing. Even though nobody's going to see what on earth I look like, I really don't care because I know I'll be looking and feeling fabulous in the dark. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. I really enjoyed going back into Little Mix makeup again and exploring with that. The Jade palette is really nice. I believe you can still get it on Beauty Bay. There's just a lovely array of colours in there, just really pretty. You could do so many pretty looks with this, like I've done today with this purple look. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Take care.